Alright, Talker Day, and I'm back with another Transformers review, and this time I got Transformers 30th Generation Megatron. And first of all, let's take a quick look at the packaging. And yeah, I've thrown away the front and bubble package, but still got the backboard, of course. And, you know, obligatory product shot, tech specs, and there's the bio if you want to read it. And, like the other one, comes with a comic book. And this is a really fun read. If you can get this, do so. It gives a really interesting look at the interaction between Megatron and Starscream. So, on to the figure himself. This toy is fun. This is really a fun toy. IDW design very nicely replicates the way he looks in the comic book. Very beefy, and it's Megatron as a jet, as a stealth bomber, actually. And I don't know if you can tell across in the camera, but there's a lot of metal flake actually in the plastic, which is really, really cool. I would show off the light piping, but it's so dark that even with a light right behind it, it doesn't even light up. So that's kind of a failed light piping right there. Articulation-wise, though, the head is on a really stiff ball joint, which is really annoying. The shoulders are on ball joints. Upper arm swivel, nice elbow bend, little wrist swivel going on there. No waist articulation because of the transformation. Ball jointed hips, lower thigh swivel, limited knee bend, but if you mistransform him, you can get a huge knee bend out of it. And what I mean by mistransform is that when you transform into jet mode, this has to break open. But they put a nice little hinge in there so you can close it up and get rid of this ugly gap. Really nice that they did that. And you got some foot articulation, but no ankle swivel, unfortunately. And of course we have his signature weapon, his plasma cannon. And it extends out very nicely. Has a hard time staying together though, unfortunately. I don't know why. But the pegging system is a little too short. Stay together, damn it. There we go. Yeah, this peg right here isn't quite connecting in all the way. So that kind of sucks. But you can peg onto either arm, stick it in his hand, hold it like a plasma rifle or something like that. Your choice, really. So, yeah, in the comics, Starscream is portrayed in the Seeker mold. Now, I don't have a Starscream Seeker, but I do have a Seeker mold. Here is Thrust for a side-by-side comparison. You know what? Kind of sucks that the Seeker mold is taller than Megatron. Kind of does. But they look alright together, you know. Megatron should be noticeably taller, though. Here he is with a full Cybertron Shockwave. And, yeah, they do look pretty good together. I have no problem with Shockwave being just a little bit taller than Megatron. I actually think they're about the same height, yeah. And Wavemate, Trailbreaker, and for an older comparison, here is Generations Blur. That's funny. I never imagined Blur would be that much taller than Megatron. Before I get into transformation, I want to point out, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but these shoulder panels here can pop open. And there really is no purpose to those. I really don't know why. Although, there's a purpose if you want to do a really interesting fan mode, which I'll show off in a second. So let's go ahead and fold those back down. Open up the legs, fold the feet down. Now this is actually a really nice bit of transformation here, okay? You take the shoulders, the chest panels, and you pop them up. These little clips tab into these slots on the side. You bring them forward like that. You're going to want to bring them off to the side to get them out of the way. Then you take the chest piece here and you pop it loose and bring it up. Now, I would like to be able to turn the head around facing towards the back plate, but if you do so, it won't fold up. So I'm not going to bother But the reason why I wish I could is because when you transform him, he sees the ground. Visible head syndrome. If you turn the head around, that'd be great, but you can't. So once you bring up the cockpit, you're going to swivel that all forward, collapse down the chest plate, and peg it in place. So again, collapse that down, swivel it forward, peg it in place. And now, if you want, you can have a gear walker mode. It counts. It counts. Okay. Take the hands, fold them into the wrists, straighten the arms out. Like so. Like this. Then open up the back of the legs, fold them up. Then you're going to twist at the ball joint on the hip. Twist that all forward. Oh, make sure to close the kneecap down. Bring that all up, and then just peg it in place. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't forget to collapse down the waist section. Yeah. And then that all will just peg right into place nice and tight. So, to recap, keep the arms up out of the way for this part, actually. Bring the knee up. Bring the knee up, swivel it around, close down the kneecap, and as you bring it around, there we go. You're going to peg that all in place and close the feet up like that. Now, those shoulder panels, these ones right here, if you pop them out and bring them out like that, it makes for an interesting flying robot thing going on. Don't know what you'd call this alt mode. I want to think something out of Gundam, but a lot of people nowadays may not recognize Gundam. It works. Okay, continuing on. Close that up, swivel that around in place, and then these tabs are going to go into the slots on the side. Like so. And afterwards, it's just really just pegging everything together. And you end up with this interesting little UFO shaped thing. I could see somebody totally repainting this into a Cosmo. But no, he needs his wings. So you take that apart, and this is just going to clip right on. Clip, clip. Clip, clip. And there we go. And he makes a really nice looking stealth bomber. I mean, they did take a few liberties here and there, but really nicely designed. Not too bad on the profile. Not too bad on the air undercarriage junk, other than the head being there. And he even comes with folding landing gear. So, and he's got plenty of plug places for weapons. If you want, you can plug weapons up here. You can even flip these hands out and mount some weapons on the side there if you're so inclined. But yeah, and in this mode you can really see the metal flake. Still, I don't know if it's coming across on camera. Only real complaint is right here on the guns. See, it doesn't really show up much in robot mode, but when you disconnect them apart, you can kind of see where the paint is faded through, and the purple plastic is shining through underneath the paint. A little annoying, but not really a deal breaker, you know. Here he is next to the Seeker mold. And yeah, in the comic, Megatron is shown to be a lot bigger, both in nose to tail ways and wingtip to wingtip. Here he is next to a full Cybertron Air Raid, who's the same mold as Shockwave. And Generations Drift. Again, scale. So, if you cannot find this guy, and he's still available. Yeah, you could go down to your local Walmart. If they don't have him in stock, they'll have him back in stock in the next couple of days, you know. Pick him up. He's a really fun figure. Yeah. Go get him. He's fun. Enjoyable. So, and he sees the ground. So yeah, thank you very much. This is Talk Today with a review of Transformers Generations 30th Anniversary Megatron. Thanks for watching.